on over. And I'm also the Galactic Spiral Light Priestess. Okay. So, this is where we meet over here, get our frequencies up, talk about things that are right in our face, talk about that elephant in the room type of situation, and just really be authentic to the self and really just kind of support that transformation that you might be going through in your life. So where are you sitting in your life? How's everything going? How you feeling? What's going on? How's everything going for you? So first thing first, I'm going to type in some info so that if you are interested in getting your, hold on, let me grab it. Okay, that's what y'all know. I watched a crazy movie yesterday called The Pyramid. It's here on YouTube. They were dealing with Anubis. Anubis. But they made Anubis look so horrible in this movie. I'm like, Anubis don't look like that. He is nothing like that. Nothing like that. And I'm like, God, always making things look so bad. Okay. Let me hit that so I don't see the feedback on that. Okay, and I'm just going to go in here. Oh, come on. Oh, what are you doing? Okay, let me do this. And I'm going to put it in the chat. Okay, so if you would like to know the designer of this, not the jewelry piece, the design of who does this, her name is Angie. Happens to be a friend of mine and also a spiral light practitioner. And she is the creator of the Galactic Cosmic Goddesses. So, I should say the Galactic Goddesses creation. So you can go over to Instagram. I'm going to type it in and follow her. And you can also look at what she designs and creates. And you can also communicate with her and ask her, well, I'm going through this and I have this going on. Can you create something, a goddess of this? So this is where you can go and follow her. Okay, that's the first one. Then the second one for, let me get her info for the, I know she has it for, oh, it's melting again. I love this oil. Okay, so she also does sound therapy. And I'm going to put this also in the box. So, okay, amethyst strain. Hold on, let me get that space there. Okay, and she also does, I'm going to put the, hold on. Just go to Instagram and you can follow her there. She is also the one that designs the product. Sun-Kissed Body Naturals. Okay. So, and this is where you can also get the product, Bantin, the Bantini product for your hair. Okay. So, I love it. It smells like coffee. All right. So, I wanted to type those in so that you would have it. And that's the way it's in there. So, lovely. Let me share with you some things that happened this morning because I was just, in bed. I slept so good last night. I just must have passed out. I passed out big time and just went to sleep. I've been getting that rest I need. And, that kind of rest you just need. Your body just kind of needs it. You just need to be and rest. So I got that rest. And when I woke up, I saw that Conscious Juice was going to be on. And I said, oh, okay, I'll watch Conscious Juice today. See what's going on in the world of Let's Decode It. And when he comes on, he talked about how some of his videos were being taken down. And I said, we just can't be at peace, can we? The xenomorphs have got to always have their hand doing something. So as I was laying there and I was hearing this, oh, today's my day. Oh, I didn't even know. Today's my signature day. That explains why this happened. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I have to share this with all of you because when he was talking about it, I was like, they always have to be doing something. They just can't let you be. But that's how you know you're doing something right because they don't want that information out there, or they want, like for me, they keep my subscribers at a certain amount. And if you've been subscribing, I haven't seen that subscribe button move forever. I just look at it and I start laughing. I said, really? And it also lets me know the mentality, energy of YouTube, the people behind it. Or maybe not the people behind it. Maybe it's just all AI that's built to be mean and digital craziness. But can't really blame it on that either now. It's the human, or maybe not human, I should say. Don't give them that much of a goodness. That sits behind it judging what others should say and not say. But they're okay with people getting up there shaking their ass and spreading their legs all open and showing all that. They're okay with that. Anything that defiles a woman, they're okay with it. Yeah, you're good with that, huh? It's terrible. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, YouTube. You really should be. Because it just shows you haven't evolved. You haven't lived it. It just shows. You're okay with stuff like that. But people who are coming on and talking about healing and talking about anything that is to help someone be better in life or to get there, you don't want to support that because it goes against what you are doing in the negative realm. Well, I guess we're just going to have to keep on doing this dance, huh? Because I sure to hell got some good shoes on. I'm going to dance all over it. All right, anyway, because I don't care. All right. I'm like Miss Meadows. She just doesn't care. When she sees something out of line, she just takes care of it. It's all over with. Toulou, I like her attitude. Just right up there with John Wick. I like that one too. Take care of the problem. Get rid of it. Oh, God, I love it. If I didn't love it so much, I would be a very unhappy person. It's those moments in life that gives me great joy. It does. All right, so today is my kin. It is the white planetary wizard. That would be me. I'm all about that. Yes. Yes, I am. What's your problem with that? Now I'm talking about magic and wizardry. Are you okay with that? But it's an upgrade version of it. It's more quantum and galactic. Yeah. So with this one, it's the white planetary wizard. We're on day 9, and it's all like perfect in order to enchant, producing receptivity. I seal the output of timelessness with the planetary tone of manifestation. I am guided by the power of spirit. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. The color is white. The planet is Maldat. And the chakra is the root, and it is also family gateway. We have a crystal output. We have a harmonic 29 still. And then we have a room and the wizard of timelessness. The PSI bank contains the timing codes for the release and establishment of different changes and mutations in the evolutionary process. This is connecting us with that 6th-dimensional mental sphere, the subliminal consciousness, and the limbic force field, and is working with the telepathic hyperneutronic. Gate 402 is in there. So I want to talk about, after Conscious Juice had made a mention of it, and he just kind of, he just kind of sits back about it, and he's like, yeah, whatever, that kind of stuff. It's typical. It's in their DNA to do stuff like that. In that DNA, that stuff. And I go, yep, it's in there. So, we're all in the flow. We're doing our stuff. We're all coming there. We're all talking, doing our stuff. And then towards the end, he does the thing. But I was kind of laying in my bed, and I was just thinking about stuff. And I said, this is why things are happening on the planet the way it's happening. This is why some things are happening in a way because of certain things that certain beings are doing to other people. This is why it's happening. This is why this planet is going to be very uncomfortable for those type of energy beings to live on. You're not going to be able to stay here. And she's going to make sure of it. She's done. Mother Earth is done. So I just kind of laid there and I said, you know what? This is why all this stuff is happening. And so be it. There's some people that just don't have anything better to do with their time except run around and try to jump into everybody else's energy and controlling and manipulating them because they get off on that stuff. So I just look at that and I say, you know what? Your day is coming to an end. It's coming really fast too. So it's just really sad. So we have the bee, and that bee is all about journey for the rune. It's about the journey. It's about the connection. It's about the consciousness moving into that. But let me look it up on the graph because it's a symbol of the blue tube. So I'm glad that explains why. When you know what your cosmic galactic signature is, it puts you in a space of bringing things to you, creating new energies for you. It amplifies your energy when you know what your signature is. And when it happens during a time of when we're doing this portal work, this is why you really, really need to know what your signature is. Because then you see how it lines up, and then you'll see why certain things happen on that day with your signature. Okay? So with that B, we have the Burke Canal is the fruitfulness that transforms the transcendence. So that's what the B, the symbol of that rune, is going to represent on the week 3 of the American plate. So it represents that fruitfulness that transforms the transcendence. Okay. So let's go back. So I'm just, watching and doing the thing, listening. And towards the end of the show, he says, I have some bracelets to give away, copper bracelet. Now the funny thing was, I had typed in and I said, on the tinctures, there was one of them I was looking at on his Etsy shop, and I said, do they come in different sizes, or because I'm looking for a certain size of a tincture ring that I want to have to wear with my Medusa. And he goes, oh yeah, just let me know what size you want me to make it for, and I can make a tincture ring. And he says like this, but I really like to see you wear a copper bracelet. I have a lot of copper bracelets. And he says that, and he goes, but that's just my suggestion. He says it just like that. And I'm like, oh, you're so funny. I want the tincture ring. Yeah. So I'm laying there and I'm just like, I'm going to make sure I go ahead and grab that off of his Etsy. And as an energy exchange of all the stuff that he does. Because I really like his content. I really like what he talks about. And so he says, okay, I'm going to give away this, but I'm going to ask a question. If you get the question right and you give me the right answer, you'll win a bracelet. So I'm laying there and I'm like, shouldn't I? Keep in mind, I don't even know. I haven't looked at the calendar to know that today's my signature. I'm just finding out just now. Oh, my signature today, July 16th. So I'm like, oh, okay. So he says, what sacred geometry? And I think he worded it. What sacred geometry is the seed of life? And I was like, so I typed in flower of life seed. I typed that in. And I'm just laying there. Everybody else is kind of typing in other stuff, like a pyramid, and someone else typed in flower of life seed. And I put my answer in first, and then I'm just laying there, and he goes, Felicia, you got it. And I was like, what? And I'm going to tell you why I did that response like that. And this is why. And this is, the title of today's is, how do you know that your energy is shifted? Okay, that you're shifting out of something. So I never win anything on anybody's platform. Even Sage Goddess. No bad thing about Sage Goddess. But I try my damnedest to try to get the bid and get the crystal, and I put in for it, and as always, I never get it. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't get it. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't get this one. Oh, I'm sorry, I never get it. Or, show me if you would like to have this giveaway, and she'll do a giveaway of a crystal or something, and you have to type in saying, yes, I would like to have it. Never ever win it. So I just kind of like, don't even bother anymore. I never win that stuff. Blah, blah, blah. I just go to the Sage Goddess store, pick out what I want, and I'm guaranteed I'm going to get it. Okay, because then I'm not competing with everybody else typing in or either hitting the button that's bumping me out because of some kind of trick of the trade of how they're doing it, copying and pasting it. So I just never win anything. So when I won it, I was like, what? And then I thought, and I said, here we go again with the same scenario. Do I want that Belgian waffle? Not want that waffle? I would like to have a waffle. I haven't had a Belgian waffle in months or months. Even a year. It's been a long time. I would have it butter and honey, and I don't want the waffle. But I get the fish and chip, but I get the items of the honey and the butter in the bags in my carry bag. And I'm like, why is that in there? Because I said yes to I wanted that. Then I changed my mind, and I was like, oh well, okay. So for me to actually win the copper bracelet that he was giving away, I was like, what? So this is where you pay attention. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I still wanted to get the tensor ring. You got to pay attention to the energy, because the energy and the numbers and the signs are going to tell you that you shifted. You shifted again. Okay. So winning that's an energy shift. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So when I went online and I said, okay, let me get the tensor ring, and I purchased it, put it in there, and then it comes back with the confirmation number. We had just finished talking about certain numbers follow you, okay? And 3s, 7s, 8s, 9s follow me, okay? Follow me a lot. That's how I know creators really trying to get my attention, especially when I see the 777, 333. It's like, pay attention to this. We got to get your attention. So the confirmation number, when I got the tensor ring and I told him and said, just go ahead and put the bracelet in the same package when you mail it all out, so it's all in one thing, came to 3737, and then I'm not going to read the other two numbers, and then the last three numbers on the end were 888. I was like, 3737, 888. I was like, what? So I said, okay, it was meant to be. I was supposed to get that. And go ahead and make sure to get that, because we started talking about, and I'm a huge person about copper. I've researched this. I have books that are old books by these old kind of like healing people that talk about working with the copper and stuff. And I just know what it feels like when I'm working with it and when I'm wearing it and how it makes me feel. I just know how it makes me feel. So getting a tensor ring that I can wear with one of my necklaces and have it right in the center, it's going to just amp things up. And that's why I want to wear it, is to keep my energy up. Because I have a lot that I need to do, and I don't have time to be putting up with these crazy shenanigans on this planet. I figure like this, all is fair in war, right? So whatever you're throwing at me, I better know how to counteract it and send it on its way back to you. Because I'm not going to just stand there and just let you just be doing it because you want to, because you think you have the power to just be doing that. You know what I'm saying? And all of us should be, aware of that and feel into that. So, what's going on out here? That's because I'm talking. Then won't be flying your plane so close. Crazy. Anyway, so that's today's Ken, the message of that, what we stepped into with that. And how to work with your timing codes, the timing codes of yourself, and how that moves you into the settings of the codes of self. So I'm all about that. I'm all about the things with the healings. Now, one of the things I kind of, with this 10-day energy, I've been reflecting on why I do what I do. I've really been reflecting on it. And let me tell you, sometimes the energy of things has been whipping up around, and how I was having a conversation with the elder the other day, and how she was telling me, a lot of healers are getting tired. They are walking away from their path. They're giving up. And I had to kind of sit with that a little bit, because you don't get into this field to be rich. Okay? Being a light worker, a healer, a decoder, a crystal person, whatever it is, you're not getting into this to be rich. Okay? You're doing the work of what you're supposed to be doing because it calls to your spirit, it calls to your soul. It is one of your dharmas, it's your soul energy makeup purpose of why you're doing what you're doing. You know, you're not doing it to be rich. You're rich already. You're rich in the knowledge. You are rich in the wisdom. You're rich in the energy frequency to align with what you're doing, because nobody else can do it like you. You have a specific alignment that is just for you to do, and nobody else can do the same thing that you do. They can try and copy it. They can try to steal or whatever, but it's not going to be the same, because, like, once again, I talked about this. You have an energy signature that allows you to do what you do. Okay? So when I start thinking about my journey when I was ill, going through the illness back in that time, because the amount of stress that I went through is what brought that illness in. The stress of a toxic marriage, the lies, the deceit, working in nursing and how toxic that was, seeing the lies and deceit there, and the sabotages and the backstabbing, and, you know, just seeing people not being true to the profession. Let's just put it that way. Their candle oath of what they do no harm was not standing up anymore. Their light went out a long time ago. And they were just only doing the work to stay in it just for the money. You know, when you have to compromise yourself to stay in something just for the money, just because the money, but you really don't have any connection to it and you're just doing it because of the money, that is not a good connection. That's not living. That is just existing for the money. Notice what that is. You're working a job that you cannot stand just for the money. And I get it, because on this planet, they set it up in this way where you have to do these jobs to live, to have a place, to have some kind of place. But the other ones, they don't have to do all that, right? They get to be and do what they want to do, right? We're the ones that's hustling and bustling and trying to make ends meet. And then they're the ones sitting there saying, oh, well, we got to pull in more money if we're going to build this and have this secretive thing over here. We got to do this and do that. We got to build it like this. So we'll make them. Let's raise price on food. Let's raise price on this. Da, 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 da. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to who are telling me, yeah, my car insurance went up. I don't have any incidents, nothing, and it just went up again another $30 or $40. What's the justification in that? There's none of the benefits of what they used to represent is not there anymore. Okay, so what's the deal with that? It's called greed. It's called greediness. Greediness. That's all it is. So when I really sit back and I look, I could have went down a different path. I could have just said, oh, let me get my master's degree and my nursing. Let me go ahead and become a nurse practitioner. And then after I do that, I'll just go ahead and slip right over to a physician assistant. And then maybe, just maybe, I will become that doctor. I had that all planned out. I picked UC Davis. I was going to go into the UC Davis program of physician assistants and do that. I even spent like popped in on the they had like a day where you can just go and be on the campus and go in and visit different classes and courses and look at it. And I spent the whole time out there just hanging out at UC Davis. Came really close to signing up to going into the program for physician assistant. And I changed my mind. And the only reason why I changed my mind is because, and I know this sounds crazy, but I happen to like to sleep. And because I worked with physician assistants and because I worked with doctors, I had a way to witness how they were feeling, how tired they looked, how they would walk in dragging, and some of them would have circles under their eyes and they'd be so tired. Some of them just rolled out of bed and hair all over their head, wearing clothes that's barely fitting them, and just walking in and don't give a freaking hell how they look, and they just want to come in and sign the orders off and what kind of lab, what's going on with the patient, and then they're off to the next floor and go see other patients and sign new orders. And I had to watch how that was happening. And then work in the ER and you see there's this constant fight or flight. Gotta go. Staying on that level all the time. Even nursing, go. Gotta go. Cram your food down in less than 30 minutes to get some kind of food in you. And then go back to the floor. Go. And then always in a panic. Did you check the order off? Did you sign this? Did you give this in report? Did the doctor call back to follow up? It's constant. So just imagine if you worked that profession for 20, 30, 40 years, what your mindset is like. So I often just paid off my student loan and said, well, I'm not going to go this route. Paid that whole student loan off. That sucked, but I paid it off because I changed my mind. Because my spirit just wanted to do what called to me, what I felt called to do. And I fell in love with massage. I fell in love with, your oils. God, I'm such an oilaholic. I fell in love with herbs. I learned that from my grandma. My grandma up in Clear Lake would never leave me alone. I was all inundated in the nursing and the science, and she was all about, Felicia, I'm pulling this. She is an elder. I adopted her as my grandma since I was itty bitty tiny, because we were always going up to Clear Lake. And she'd go pull these weeds up and say, look at this, bite into this. Doesn't it taste good? It's sour. I said, it's grass. Why are you giving me this grass? There's going to come a day when you're going to need to know about these herbs because you're going to need it one day. And I said, Grandma, that's why I'm going to nursing, so I don't have to worry about things like that. Wrong thing to say to an elder. And she comes back with it. One day, you're not going to be able to do all those things. You're going to have to come back to the basics of what God put here on the land. And I said, okay. And here I am. After she has already crossed over, and here I am doing exactly what she was doing. Teaching people. Walking in her honor of what her belief was. Not just her, but all my other relatives. Doing that. My work of what I landed into, working with codes that heals the body and understanding how the water works. And the way I got into that was so powerful. Didn't see it coming though. Because at the time when you're trying to heal your own body and you're going through something that's like, how do I get my body back, you meet people along the way that awaken something in you. It's all planned out. You meet these people along your pathway that are to awaken you. And I remember when one of the teachers I was learning, and I was just getting on my path, I was just waking up, 1996, 97. I was still married, and I was just trying to get this going. And I remember after my marriage and I get the divorce, and then I was having all this stuff that was going on in my body, and I didn't know what was going on. And then the test results come back, and I'm trying to figure out how to heal this. And oh, fine, I'll just lay down and die and just forget about this planet, blah blah blah. And then there's this energy that comes in, and it's like you meet someone, and you start to you go, whoa. And I'll never forget, I met this chiropractor, and I don't think he's on the planet anymore. But he was a part of my healing and transformation. Hold on a second. If I don't undo it, it'll buzz again. So he was a part of my healing and transformation. And I just remember when my teacher at the time, she says, I want you to go meet Dr. Taylor. And Dr. Taylor is someone that I want you to meet. And I said, okay. Because at that time I was like, just dark night of the soul. And I was thinking about this the other day, and I was kind of putting the pieces together of how far I've come doing what I do, and the people I met along the way that were the key energy starters to get me where I am doing what I do. Okay? And when I met Dr. Tyler, this is how weird everything is. Okay, so back in that time, I would drive from Carmichael area and come over here to Rockland. And I would go meet up with him. But at the time, I don't think I was living in, maybe I was living in Carmichael. I'm not really sure. It's so far away now. Well, wherever I was, I drove over here to Rockland. And I just remember going up to this building where he had his practice, and he had been there for a long time. He had seen Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was taking care of him when Arnold Schwarzenegger first came to America. He was his sports doctor. He worked with him, his sports chiropractor. So I was like, whoa. So I remember going in, and he was doing his chiropractor work, and his wife would sit up in the front office and bring the patients in for him to see, greet them in. And I would go in, and I remember my teacher told me, he said, you'll go in and see him. He's not going to ask you for any money, but he's going to take you to a room where he has his machine. And I said, okay. I had no idea what she was talking about. So I meet Dr. Tyler, and he takes me to this room, and he tells me, this is a Rife machine. It works on frequency. And I said, frequency? He goes, yeah, works on frequency. Whatever's going on in the body, there's a code to help heal the body. And I just remember sitting there, and I was watching him take these glass tubes out and plug them into this machine. And he looked at my neck, and he says, okay, so you got something growing in your neck. And I go, yeah. He goes, okay. He goes, what are you unhappy about? And I told him what I was unhappy about, what was happening in my life. He goes, okay, so your spirit's broken. You're sad. You're depressed. That doesn't make happy cells in the body. That makes sad, depressed cells that don't emanate the light. Keep the body strong. And he told me the story about what happened to his daughter and why he is doing what he was doing. It was like his biggest payback to help as many people as he could for what happened to his daughter. So because he was chiropractic, he was naturopath, he knew the way how to heal the body naturally. His daughter had become ill with some type of cancer. And hi, lovely. And he was doing everything that he could to keep her immune system up, and the doctors and the welfare people were all on his case when it came time to put her through chemo. And he already knew, because of her age, because of her body build, she might not be able to handle that chemo. And he was like, no, I don't want to put her on that. If you just let me get her body in balance, she will be able to fight this. Her body will switch over and heal. They didn't want to hear about that. So they actually took his daughter away from him under a court law and put her in a hospital and gave her all the chemo, and then she died. And he never got over that. How they took his daughter and put her in a hospital and forcibly gave her chemo. And she died. He made it his absolute point when that happened. He said, I'm going to make sure my daughter didn't die in vain. From this point on, I'm going to help every person that has anything that comes up like that in their body. And I'm not going to charge them shit for it. I'm going to make sure that I give them what they need so they don't end up what happened to my daughter. So here I am. I'm in this room, sitting on this stool, little stool, and I'm looking around, and he's got all the anatomy charts in there and healing and plants and homeopathic things on the wall and colors, and I'm falling in love with that. And I'm like, this is so cool. This feels really good. This feels in balance. This feels in balance. And after he plugs in these glass crystal-like tubes, there's two big ones, and you hold them. And he said, now I want you to hold these tubes. And he goes and gets his manual out, and he goes, okay, let's do this code, and let's do this code. Puts it into the machine. And I was all excited because I'm holding these crystal glass bulb things that go with this Rife machine, and it's lighting up and it's emanating this color purple. And I'm like, wow. He goes, you like that? I said, I like it because it's just purple. I'm in love with it because it's purple. He goes, wait till you see how it makes you feel. So he leaves me in there, goes off and sees his other patients. I did I think it was 10, 20 minutes. Machine goes off. He comes back in, puts in another code, and I'm sitting there. And then comes in and goes, okay, you're all done. I want to see you here the next day. So I was seeing him 3 times a week. And then I would go through this detox, and he would drink lots of water, rest, get outside, eat good foods. I'll see you again. It was always the same thing. Then my energy started changing, and I started feeling more balanced. And I wasn't in that dark night of the soul moment. I was in this healing place. And I was loving it. It was getting to the point to where I was excited to go in and see Dr. Tyler and see his wife and hi. And even the wife started noticing when I was coming in. She said, "You're smiling." I go, "Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I don't feel so like I'm dying." And she's like, "Good." And I go, and every time I would try to pay something, he wouldn't take it. He wouldn't take the money. And all I had to do was not talk about it to a lot of people. And he would only see certain people that would know about him and the machine. Because he told me if certain people find out I have this, they'll come and take it and close my business down. Or better yet, something will happen to me and they'll take everything. And it'll be like I disappeared. That happens, And I was like, what? So when you're in that early stages of crossing over into that new energy line and you're hearing things like people come up missing because they're helping someone, because they have an invention or they're doing healing work, and the xenomorphs don't like that because it's messing with their agenda. They can't have that. So they have to get rid of the problem. They get rid of the person that could create a problem. Okay. So I kept going in and seeing him. And he just knew. He said, "You're good." I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, you can come in every 2 weeks if you want for just maintenance, but you're good. I can see it in your eyes." And he would do my eyeology, read my eyes, and he literally saw the change of where I was before and then after the treatments, after the codes. So here I am, after everything's been done, go through the surgeries, they can't find it anymore. But they nicked my larynx in the process. Then I end up staying in a hospital for 5 days because now I got a hole in my larynx. So I just remember what a phenomenal journey that was. I was on my spiritual path. And if I was going to try to go back into nursing in the way that I was going into it to do it, the doors would get closed. I couldn't go into that door anymore. Or the position was not available. Or they just never saw my resume. Or I was too overqualified. I've had that, "You're too overqualified for this particular position." I'm like, "What are you talking about? It's coded stuff." "No, you're overqualified." When those doors are closing and things are happening, that's how you know that your energy is shifting, that you're supposed to be going in the direction that you're supposed to be going. You're supposed to be doing that. But what happens sometimes, we panic because it's about, "Oh, how am I going to take care of myself? How am I going to pay for this? How am I going to do this?" Because this construct puts you in that, where you're constantly always thinking about how you're going to do that. Thank God it's coming down. Thank God it's falling apart. Because now we can build something new without all that stress, without all that worry. And, "Oh, we got to go through this throwing up process right now, to get to the final stability part of it, where we can build something better than what this is." And I really just laid in bed and I was thinking about my journey. All the people I've met along the way, all the things I learned. not just from people, but from spirit, from those little gentle whispers, from the animals, from the trees, from the earth, from the crystals, all the things that I've learned. And there is not a doubt in my mind now. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So that question that I'm posing to you now, are you seeing a shift in your energy? Are you able to sit back and see where you were before and see where you are now? Is it a good thing? Do you see the changes? Do you see how you shifted? Are you aware of it? Are you aware of what you went through back then and kept fighting it along the way? Because trust me, I kept shutting the door. I'm like, I don't know, I'm not stepping on this path. I don't want it. And it just kept showing up and showing up. And then what happens, little things starts happening to the body and you can't do it anymore. Then you start getting sent to the counseling sessions. And then you don't have a regular counselor. You have one of these spiritual counselors that know exactly what's going on with you because they can read your energy when you walk in, because that's what they're there for. Is to help the ones that are supposed to be doing their soul work. So they make sure they are in those right positions to counteract the negative ones that would put your ass in the mattress room and drug you up because you're talking to higher beings in other dimensions. Oh no, we can't have you doing that. We got to give you some Ativan, we can give you some Valium, and we're going to put you in this room over here, and then we're going to wait it out and see how that works. You're not supposed to be doing that. But you get these special ones that are in those places at that time on your timeline to tell you there's nothing wrong with you. You're sensitive. You can't do that. That's not what you're here to do. What else interests you? They take their time with you. They sit there and they listen to you. Well, have you ever thought maybe you're not supposed to be doing this anymore? And then your ego steps in and says, but I went to school for this and I got my degrees and I got to make a living and I got to get my little house with a little white fence around it and drive my fancy cars and look important in the world and society because that's what we do. Not anymore. Yeah. That was a stepping point then to get you where you are now. And there was all that energy. Yeah. It's the truth. I bring it like it is. Everybody, you know I'm telling the truth. Come on. You know what the pressure was. What are you going to be when you grow up? Where do you want to go to school? Oh, we got to go. Oh, you got to take a test. You got to get your MCAT test. You can't just go walk in and go apply to a med school. You got to go take the test. All that's craziness. And all that keeps happening, you start meeting all these people, old souls that know what time it is on this planet. They know the game. And all they're doing is lining you up so you can get there. They flip that coin and change that light so that you can get there and you can see it. So when I sit back and I really look at galactic spiral light. If you would have asked my ass 30 years ago, do you see yourself doing galactic spiral light, working with codes and colors and able to infiltrate water and program it and then take a code and shoot it around the world to somebody else in the water, have them drink it and have their bodies have a response for it? Do you see yourself doing that when you grow up? As I'm chewing on a Tootsie Roll to get to the center, how many bites did that take me to do that? Would I even had an answer if somebody was to ask me that question? Probably not. I would have looked at him like deers in a headlight, afraid to move, afraid to even think something of that caliber, and would have responded with what they would want to hear. I want to be a nurse or a doctor. But instead now, I remember who I am and what I do. I'm here to fucking stir up the light and to tell you, do it. I'm here to read and look at you and say, why are you so angry? Why are you still stuck? Why are you still looping? Let's get out of that. Because somebody did it for me. So now I do it for someone else. With a little bit of extra something on the side. So when I ask you, do you feel the energy shift? And you feel yourself shifting, I'll just go ahead and play mahogany here with you. Do you see where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Do you know? Because I think we had enough of tainted love. And it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for you. So when I see other people on their platforms and they're bringing it and they're talking about how they're getting attacked or they're getting their stuff taken off, I just keep saying we have to keep going because they cannot get us all. And we are a force to not be reckoned with. We are the new force that they feared the most. And it's too late now because you had plenty of fucking time to make things right and you chose not to. Now you must deal with us and what we're coming into. Now you must deal with the new generation that's coming forward. Now you must deal with the newness of Mother Earth rising. Now you must deal with the new standing ones that you feared the most. Because you had your chance to make things right. You had your chance to do the right thing, and you chose not to. You have been weighed, you have been measured, and now you will pay that price. And we're just going to sit back and watch it all unfold, because that's what we do. We open the sacral of the sacredness and we give birth to it. That's what we do. And like I said, we are not a force to be reckoned with. So, yeah, I'm really happy I'm on the path that I'm on and I do what I do. Because even if I shifted into spirit, that would be even worse. Because then I'm all over the place doing all this goodness, waking people up, saying, hey, you sure you got that good artwork there? Why don't you share that with the world? People would love that. Oh, you sure you're making that? You should share that with people. People would love to hear that. Yeah. So I invite you to kind of sit back and really look at where you have been, what has happened to you, and where you are right now. Do you still need to make a decision to get to that next shift? Are you happy where you are right now? Because things are shifting like that. And all you have to do is say yes or no. And lean into it. I am very grateful that I've met the people that I've met along the way. And the things that I've learned. Some have been good, some have been bad, some have been like shot to the heart. You give love a bad name. Yes. Some of those moments just make us sit back and say, what the hell was I thinking? And when you really can sit back and say, oh my gosh, and you have those moments, and then you really look at where you are. It took a lot to get you to see you right now where you are. Because you were so busy being afraid to see the real you of where you are. To be authentic in your truth of yourself and walk with that, which is priceless. You cannot read this in a book. You cannot be taught this. This is something that just comes from your divine soul to show you that. And when that happens, and when you embrace that and you take that in, you are unstoppable. Because you're doing the one thing that many do not give themselves a chance to do, is to know thyself. Period. That whole sentence in its own is so powerful, yet so simple. But some people still cannot do it. They're too busy bowing down and trying to appease everybody else to like them. Where is that going to get you? So, I'm happy of the days when my grandmother was out there pulling up weeds and putting them in a cup and giving it to me. And I looked at her like, what the hell are you doing? You know, I'm happy of walking into new experiences and grateful for these things of what the hell is this? And I'm holding on, oh, is this going to do something? And then meeting such a compassionate person in my life that taught me a lot. I'm grateful when I met all the crazy people that were doing crazy stuff, and I was like, what the hell's wrong with you? And I learned something out of that. But most of all, I'm grateful for right now, because I'm standing. Body's not too perfect like it used to be. I'm 59 years old. I put a lot of miles on this body. And I got the scars and the tears and the dislocations and the surgeries to prove it. I got a lot of mileage on this body, and I'm going to keep on going till I'm done. And you are doing the same. So I'm very grateful. And what a beautiful thing to be able to sit back and reflect on yourself and really look at where you come from, where you are now, and what is still to come. What is still to develop, still be created. What do you still have inside of you that you just want to say, yes, I want to fucking do this. This feels great. This is my focus. This is my moment. And you get passionate about that. If you haven't noticed by now, the F word is one of my favorite words I like to say. It is an instant distressor. It works very fast and effectively. My mother hates it. And my niece follows after me. She does the same thing. I just don't understand why you have to say those words. It gets the point across. It develops the sentence more. It brings in clarity straight to the point. People take you seriously when you say that. You would look at me crazy if I say, oh, darn. Shucks. All right, so I invite you to really step into that and look at that. Do you feel that energy shifting you? Because I felt that today just winning that bracelet. And I've never won anything on anybody's platform here on YouTube. But to kind of win that was like, what? I was like, hold on a second. Let me sip on my electrolytes and watered down apple juice and some magnesium and take that in. So I invite you to do that because I really enjoyed reflecting on that. And I remember how hard it was to let go of what I thought I was supposed to be. I thought I was supposed to be the nurse and work myself into the ground and be that. No. Something much more was waiting for me. Without all the limitations and the twists and turns of you have to be a certain way. And I think that's what all of us are going through right now on this planet is really looking at ourselves and asking ourselves that question. Are you happy? Are you okay with everything that's going on? Do you just want to shift and be in something else that's more conducive to what you want to do? We're looking at Mother shedding right now. And it's an eye-opener on how powerful water, wind, fire, and earth and spirit really is. And they are showing up every day, every moment, and making sure we know that they are living spirits moving amongst us. They are living entity beings. And they are the ones saying, enough is enough. It's time to pull it all down. And when you see it for what it is, that just makes you that much more understand the power of energy and where you're going and what is happening and how everything lines up. Okay, let's step into this. Look at this. All right. So, I thought it would be good to do spirit animals and spirit crystals, because there were animals leaving Yellowstone. Buffaloes, deers, elks. Reminded me of the scene in Knowing, in that movie, when when the animals were leaving the forest, getting out of there. So they've been leaving the area, walking right past the humans. That's how you know something's up. They're not trying to interact with you. They are walking right past you. Bears. And I thought it was so powerful to see the buffaloes, how they were walking. And one was a grandpa. You could see he was walking. And in his mind, I bet you, he was saying, as old and big as I am, as the buffalo who's been on this earth for many, many eons, I am showing you, you need to leave this area. You need to walk this way, children. You need to turn around and walk this way. For showing you, get out of this area. So, we were talking about this in the group today, and I said, if that goes, that's probably going to be the 10 days of darkness, if that blows. Yeah. Because they're walking away for a reason. Something's getting ready to happen. They feel it. They feel it. Mother sent out a pulse and said, leave this area. And they all communicated to each other. And they all leaving. And everybody's standing out there. Instead of getting the message and leaving and saying, oh, time to get out of here. We're too busy. Look at this. I'm going to put this up on TikTok. I'm going to put this up on Facebook. I'm going to put this up on my thing. Instead of paying attention to the sign of what's happening. Some people just don't learn. They just don't learn. They don't get it. All right, here we go. We're going to step into the animal world. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. What? Wow. Okay, so we got snake spirit. Time to heal. We got that 55. Time to heal. Snake energy. Look at that. The stone is malachite, number 34. Malachite is a really good stone. It's even EMF protection. Has power to do that. It's a good stone, but make sure you get a real one and not one that's painted to look like one. See the beauty from the stone people. Gratitude, the sacred is everywhere. I love that. Just finished talking about that. The sacred is everywhere. The waters brings the message. I think it's Sihiki. Come out of hiding. Embrace who you really are. Siliki. Come out of hiding and embrace who you really are. So I like that. The come out of hiding and embrace who you really are. And the Phoenix card will bring our final message. Because really, we're moving through the Phoenix energy. What's being shifted and moved. Right there. Life is a gift. Life is a gift. So yeah, watching that. I put that short video up about the clouds. So you guys can see that buffalo Murph in the clouds, and then it turns into some faces. I was like, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's underneath post. So everyone, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We got one more day of medicine. Then we'll just take a break and start preparing, getting all of your things. So for this next one that we're going to do, if you have not decoded yourself, I highly suggest you do, so that you can see how when we're in these portal energies, how these energies are moving about and how they enhance your sigils, your signatures of what and who you are and what you represent, what energy tribe you flow with through the galactic calendar. So I hope you really take the time to decode yourself on 13moons.com. If you want to follow along and you want to get the PDF file of the galactic calendar where you get it on your laptop, you have to go to Law of Time. So let me bring it up because it's a tricky one. Up. not 13 moons, watch out for that one. Is a 13 moon. If you put the S on there, it's going to take you to a sell place, a site that does magical supplies, which is good too. So 13 moon calendar. If you go to this, and then you can purchase this calendar on the 13 one. And then if you want to do go into it's called the Foundation of the Law of Time. Okay? Foundation for the law of time. Foundation for the Law of Time. So it's lawoftime.org. Okay, lawoftime.org. And when you go on there, it will bring up this. You'll see this. This is the book form of it if you want to get the book form. Okay, they have to print this according to orders. But then, if you scroll down, you can go into the shop. Go underneath. Go shop. They have a lot of neat book materials. So the book, if you manually get it, is going to be $29.99. They have a 13 moon day planner, which is $35. If you get the ebook, like how I work mine, it's a PDF that they send you, and all you do is load it up onto your laptop, on your desktop, give it a place, put it on your desktop. That's $20. So and that's as soon as you send it, you get it right away. Okay. Then they sell the calendar also on this site for $25. They have portals to inner time. They have it in Spanish and in English for $19. I haven't bought one of those because I just work with the what comes up at the time. And when you go down more, they have the Unsubscribe Initiation into the Heart of Time, $9.99. Accessing Your Multidimensional Self, A Key to Cosmic History. The Book of Throne, Cosmic History of Chronicle, Volume number 1 is $16. And then they have other books that split off into different things of the Chronicle, History, and Mysteries. And it's all about the flow of the calendar, the 13 months, the 13 moons, and how it really is not good to be on this, the way the Gregorian calendar sets everything up, the Gregorian one. There's a lot on here to look at when you go to lawoftime.org. They have time and synchronicity and calendar change. They have that. Manifesto, the Neosphere, Understanding That, Galactic Meditations, 260 Keys of Synchronicity. They have the magazine that you can take a look at also. They have story time. They have the solar seal magnets. They have a lot of things on here. And it's a lot that's pertaining to, and they have things on here also that you can add to your cart that's free. So you scroll all the way down and you'll see things that says 28 Meditations of Law of Time 00, add to cart. Or the Principles of Mathematics of the Fourth Dimension 00, add to cart. Okay? So take your time and float over and decode yourself on 13 moon so you know what your signature is and know how you're flowing in the flow of the 13 moon cycle. Because you'll start seeing it. You'll start seeing the synchronicity. Okay? All right, lovelies. I got to do all my laundry. I got a couple of patients to see, put them into the system, and see how they're doing. But I hope you enjoyed the message today. And really sit back and take a look at that. I will. Thank you so much. I put all your info up there so that people can have it and go over and take a look-see. Okay? All right, lovelies, be good to yourself. I can say to Lou here, I can say, what do. I can say, be good to yourself, journey well. I can say all those things, but how about this? Be your soul light. Be true to yourself. Stay in who you really are. And stop trying to appease everybody else. Because at this point in the game, it really doesn't matter. What matters is you. Staying true to you. All right. All right. See you tomorrow for day 10. We'll be wrapping it up then. See you then. Bye.